Close carefully upon your hour.
Get thee to bed, Francisco.
For this relief, much thanks. 'Tis bitter cold, and I am sick at heart.
Have you had quiet guard?
Not a mouse stirring. Give you good night.
Farewell on it, soldier.
Welcome, Horatio. Welcome, good Marcellus.
What, has this thing appeared again tonight?
I have seen nothing.
Horatio says 'tis but our fantasy. Stars will not appear.
Sit down a while and let us once again assail your ears with what we have tonight seen.
Well, sit we down.
Last night of all, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made his course to illume that part of heaven where now it burns, Marcellus and myself, the bell then beating one.
Peace. Make thee up. Nobody comes again.
Same figure like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
What art thou that usurps this time of night? Together with that fair and warlike form in which the majesty of buried Denmark did sometimes march. By heaven, I charge thee, speak.
'Tis offended.
See, it stalks away. Stay, speak, I charge thee, speak.
'Tis gone and will not answer.
How now, Horatio, you tremble and look pale. Is not this something more than fantasy?
Is not like the king? As thou art to thyself.
This bodes some strange eruption to our state. Soft. Behold, look where it comes again. I'll cross it though it blast me. Stay, illusion! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me. If thou art privy to thy country's fate, which happily foreknowing may avoid, speak of it. Stay and speak. Stop it, Marcellus! I strike at it. Do it, it will not stand. It is here. It is here.
It's gone. We do it wrong being so majestical to offer it the show of violence. Faded at the crowing of the cock.
Aye. Look. Morn in russet mantle clad walks o'er the dew of yon high eastward hill. Break we our watch up, and by my advice, let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to us shall speak to him.
Our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us befitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe, yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore, our sometime sister, now our queen, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, taken to wife. Nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. must be disjoint and out of frame, he hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father to our valiant brother. Therefore will we send forth ambassadors with strong complaint unto old Fortinbras, that he may check his nephew's purposes. And now, Laertes, what's the news with you? What wouldst thou have, Laertes?
My dread liege, your leave and favor to return to France.
Have you your father's leave? What says Polonius?
He hath, my lord, wrung from me my slow leave. I do beseech you, give him leave to go.
Take thy fair hour, Laertes. Time be thine. And now my cousin Hamlet, and my son.
A little more than kin and less than kind.
How is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much of the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off. Do not forever with thy veiled lid seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis common, all that lives must die.
Aye, madam, it is common.
Will it be? Why seems it so particular with thee?
Seems, madam. Nay, it is, I know not, seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, together with all forms, modes, shapes of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. But I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these mourning duties to your father. But you must know your father lost a father. That father lost his. So to persever in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. We pray you, throw to earth this unprevailing woe and think of us as of a father. For let the world take note. You are the most immediate to our throne. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg, it is most retrograde to our desire.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Aye, 'tis a loving and a fair reply. Be as ourself in Denmark. Madam, come. This gentle and unforced accord of Hamlet sits smiling to my heart. In grace whereof, no jocund health that Denmark drinks today, but the great cannon to the clouds shall tell, re-speaking earthly thunder. Come, away.
This too solid flesh would melt, fall, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his cannon against self-slaughter. Oh, God! How weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Thy aunt, not thy. That it should come to this. But 2 months dead. Nay, not so much. Not 2. So excellent a king that was to this, Hyperion to a satyr. So loving to my mother. Must I remember? Why, she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month. Oh, let me not think on. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month. Ere yet those shoes were old with which she followed my poor father's body like Nile, all tears. Why, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer, married with mine uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my father than I to Hercules. Within a month she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. Hail to your lordship. I am glad to see thee well. Horatio. For I do forget myself.
The same, my lord, and your poor servant ever.
But what make you from Wittenberg, Horatio?
My lord, I came to see your father's funeral.
I prithee do not mock me, fellow students. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift. Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
I saw him once. He was a goodly king.
He was a man, take him for all in all. I shall not look upon his like again.
My lord, I think I saw him yesternight.
So, who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father?
2 nights together had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo on their watch, been thus encountered. A figure like your father appears before them, and with warlike march goes slow and stately by them. This to me in dreadful secrecy, in part they did. And I with them the 3rd night kept the watch. For as they had delivered both in time, form of a thing, each word made true and good, the apparition comes. I knew your father, these hands are not more like.
Did speak to it?
My lord, I did. It answer made it none, but vanished from our sight.
It is very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true.
I will watch tonight. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your love's as mine to you. Farewell. My father's spirit in arms. All is not well, I doubt some foul play. Oh, would the night were come. Till then sit still my soul. Foul deeds will rise, though all the earth overwhelm them, to men's eyes.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, for Hamlet and the trifling of his favor, hold it a fashion and a toy in blood. Forward, not permanent. Sweet, not lasting.
No more but so.
Perhaps he loves you now. But you must fear his will is not his own, for he himself is subject to his birth. He may not, as unvalued persons do, carve for himself, for on his choice depends the sanity and health of this whole state. Then weigh what loss your honor may sustain if with too credent ear you list his songs. Or lose your heart, or your chaste treasure open to his unmastered importunity.
I shall the effect of this good lesson keep as watchman to my heart.
Yet here, Laertes, aboard, for shame, for you are stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thy memory look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thou familiar, but by no means vulgar. Give every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Costly thy habit as thy purse can buy, but not expressed in fancy. Rich, not gaudy, for the apparel oft proclaims the man. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Farewell.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell, Ophelia. And remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
dearest Ophelia, he hath said to you.
So please you. Something touching the Lord Hamlet.
Marry, well bethought. 'Tis told me he hath very oft of late given private time to you. What is between you? Give me up the truth.
He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affection? Oh, you speak like a green girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honourable fashion.
Aye, fashion you may call it. Go to, good.
And hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven.
Aye, springes to catch woodcocks. I do know when the blood burns how prodigal the soul lends the tongue vows. Then, daughter, from this time be something scantier of your maiden presence. Do not believe his vows. They are unholy. I would not in plain terms from this time forth have you give words or talk with the Lord Hamlet. Look to it, I charge you. Come your ways.
I shall obey.
The air bites shrewdly. It is very cold. 'Tis a nipping and an eager air. What hour now? I think it lacks of 12. No, 'tis struck. What means this, my lord?
The king doth wake tonight and takes his rouse. And as he drains his draughts of Rhenish down, the kettle drum and trumpet thus bray out the triumph of his pledge.
Is it a custom?
Aye, merry is't. But to my mind a custom more honoured in the breach than the observance. This heavy-headed rebel makes us taxed of other nations, for they call us drunkards, soil our addition, take from our achievements. So oft it chanceth in particular men, that for some vicious mole of nature in them, as in their birth, wherein they are not guilty, or some habit that too much o'erleavens the form of plausive manners, that these men, carrying, I say, the stamp of one defect, the virtues else, be they as pure as grace, shall in the general censure take corruption from that particular fault.
My lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace, defend us. Thou spirit of hell, goblin damned, bring with thee airs from heaven or blasts from hell. Thou comest in such a questionable shape that I will speak to thee. I'll call thee Hamlet, King, Father, Royal Dane. Oh, answer me. Let me not burst in ignorance, but speak. Say, why is this? Wherefore? What should we do? Beckons you to go away with it. Speak, and I will follow. Do not, my lord. Why? What should be the fear? I do not set my life at a pin's fee, and for my soul, what can it do to that being a thing immortal as itself? Gives me forth again. I follow it. You cannot go, my lord. My fate cries out! By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away! Go on. I'll follow thee. He waxes desperate with imagination. Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak. I'll go no further. Mark me. I will. My hour is almost come when I to sulphurous and tormenting flames must render up myself. Alas, poor ghost. Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold. Speak. I am bound to hear. I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night, and for the day confined to fast in fires, till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away,
List, list, oh, list. If thou didst ever thy dear father love, oh, God, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder. Murder! Murder most foul as in the best it is, but this most foul, strange, and unnatural.
It's better know it. And I with wings as swift as meditation or the thoughts of love may sweep to my revenge.
Then, Hamlet, here. 'Tis given out that sleeping in my orchard a serpent stung me. But know thou, noble youth, the serpent that did sting thy father's life now wears his crown.
Prophetics. My uncle.
Aye, that incestuous, that adulterate beast, with witchcraft of his wit, won to his lust the will of my most seeming virtuous queen. But soft, methinks I scent the morning air. Brief let me be, sleeping within mine orchard, my custom always of the afternoon. Upon my secure hour thy uncle stole with juice of cursed Hebena in a vial, and in the porches of mine ears did pour the leprous distilment. So a most instant tetter barked about, most lazar-like with vile and loathsome crust, all my smooth body. Thus was I sleeping by a brother's hand, of life, of crown, of queen at once dispatched, cut off even in the blossoms of my sin, with all my imperfections on my head. Oh, horrible. Oh, horrible, most horrible. If thou hast nature in thee, bear it not. But howsoever thou pursuest this act, taint not thy mind, nor let thy soul contrive against thy mother aught. Leave her to heaven. Fare thee well at once. The glowworm shows the matin to be near, begins to pale his ineffectual fires. And you, Hamlet, remember me.
Holy host of heaven. Well, what is? And shall I couple hell? Oh. Hold my heart, and do my sinews grow not instant old, but bear me stiffly up. Remember ye, from the table of my memory, I'll wipe away all trivial fond records. And thy commandment all alone shall live within the book and volume of my brain. O most pernicious woman! O villain! Villain! Smiling, damned villain! But now to my word. It is adieu. Adieu. Remember me. I have sworn.
My lord!
Oh, boy! Come, Dad, come!
How is my noble lord?
Oh, wonderful. Could my lord tell it?
No, you will reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord.
Save you, then. Would heart up man once think it?
It shall be secret.
Aye, by heaven, my lord. There's ne'er a villain dwelling in all Denmark. But he's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Quite right. You are in the right. And so, without more circumstance at all, I hold it fit that we shake hands and part. You as your business and desire shall point you, as every man hath business and desire.
These are but wild and whirling words, my lord.
I'm sorry they offend you heartily. Yes, faith, heartily. Touching this vision here. It is an honest ghost, that let me tell you. For your desire to know what is between us, or master it as you may. And so, good friends,
Give me one poor request.
What is it, my lord?
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not. Nay, but swear. In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord, in faith, upon my sword.
Sworn, my lord, already.
Indeed, upon my sword, indeed.
Swear.
Boy, say so. Oh, there, Truepenny. Come on, you hear this fellow in the cellarage consent to swear. Come hither, gentlemen.
Swear by his sword.
Well said, old mole. Canst work at the earth so fast? A worthy partner. Once more remove, good friends.
Oh, day and night, but this is wondrous strange.
For as a stranger, give it welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy. But come, here as before. Never so help you mercy. How strange or odd soe'er I bear myself, as I perchance hereafter shall think meet to put an antic disposition on, that you, at such time seeing me, never shall say you know aught of me. This not to do. Swear.
Swear.
Rest, perturbed spirit. So, gentlemen, with all my love, I do commend me to you. The time is out of joint. Cursed spite. Ever I was born to set it right.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. The need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation? Now, what it may be, more than his father's death, I cannot dream of. I entreat you both that being brought up with him, you should vouchsafe your rest here in our court some little while to draw him on to pleasures, and to gather so much as from occasion you may glean whether aught to us unknown afflicts him thus that opened lies within our remedy.
I beseech you instantly to visit my too much changed son.
The heavens make our presence pleasant and helpful to him.
Aye, amen.
The ambassadors from Norway, my good lord, are joyfully returned.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my liege? I think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Speak of that. That do I long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is, why day is day, night, night, or time is time, were nothing but to waste night, day, and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit and tediousness the limbs and outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for to define true madness, what is to put to me nothing else but mad. But let that go.
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. But he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true, 'tis pity. And pity 'tis true. A foolish figure, but farewell it, for I will use no art. Mad, let us grant him then. It now remains perpend. I have a daughter, have while she is mine, who in her duty and obedience, mark, hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase. It's a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase. But you shall hear. Doubt that the sun doth move. Doubt true.
And faithful and honorable?
I would fain prove so. I went round to work, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak. Lord Hamlet is a prince. Out of thy star, this must not be. And then I prescripts gave her that she should lock herself from his resort. Thus he
repelled, a short tale to make, fell into a sadness, then into a fast, then into a watch, thence into a weakness, thence into a lightness, and by this declension into the madness, wherein now he raves, and all we mourn for.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be, very like.
Hath there been such a time? I'd fain know that, when I have positively said 'tis so, and it proved otherwise.
Not that I know of.
Take this from this, if this be otherwise.
But look, where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I do beseech you both, away. I'll board him presently. Oh, by your leave. How does, my good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God have mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent, well. You are a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man.
Honest, my lord?
Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but as your daughter may conceive, friend, look to it.
What say you by that? Still harping on my daughter. Yet he knew me not at first. He said I was a fishmonger. Yes, far gone, far gone. And indeed, in my youth, I suffered much extremity from love. Very near this. I'll speak to him again. What do you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What is the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean, the matter that you read, my lord.
Slanders. Well, the satirical rogue says here that old men have grey beards, that their faces are wrinkled, their eyes purging thick amber and plum tree gum, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit, together with most weak hands. All the which, sir, though I most powerfully and prudently believe, yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For yourself, sir, would be as old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
Though this be madness, yet there's method in't. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. How pregnant sometimes his replies are. My honorable lord, I will most humbly take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything, but I will more willingly part with all. Except my life. Except my life. Except my life.
Very well, my lord.
You old fools.
You come to seek the Lord Hamlet? There he is.
God save you, sir. My honored lord.
My excellent good friend. How dost thou, Guildenstern, our Rosencrantz, good lad? How do you both? What have you deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord?
Denmark's a prison.
Oh, we think not so, my lord.
Why, then 'tis none to you, for there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it, sir. To me, it is a prison.
Why, then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
Oh, God. I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space, were it not that I have bad dreams. What make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord, no other occasion.
Were you not sent for? Was it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, come. Nay, speak!
What should we say, my lord?
Why, anything but to the purpose. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. What say you?
My lord, we were sent for.
I will tell you why. So shall your secrecy to the king molt no feather. I have of late But wherefore I know not. Lost all my mirth. And indeed it goes so heavily with my disposition that this goodly frame, the earth, seems to me a sterile promontory. This most excellent canopy, the air, look you, this brave or hanging firmament, this majestical roof, fretted with golden fire. Why, it appeareth no other thing to me but a foul and pestilent congregation of vapors. What a piece of work is a man. How noble in reason, how infinite in faculty. In form and moving, how express and admirable. In action, how like an angel. In apprehension, how like a god. The beauty of the world, the paragon of animals. And yet, to me, what is this quintessence of dust? Man delights not me. No woman neither, though by your smiling you seem to say so.
Oh, my lord, there was no such stuff in my thoughts.
Why did you laugh when I said man delights not me?
To think, my lord, if you delight not in man, what lengthened entertainment the players shall receive from you. We met them on the way, and hither are they coming to offer you service.
He that plays the king shall be welcome. There are the players. Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. But my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my lord?
I am but mad. Northwest. When the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
My lord, I have news to tell you.
My lord, I have news to tell you. And Roscius was an actor in Rome.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz.
Upon mine honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
Best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, comical, historical, pastoral, tragical, historical, tragical, comical, historical, pastoral, scene indivisible and poem unlimited. These are the only men.
Welcome, masters. Welcome all. My old friend. Masters, you are all welcome. We'll have a speech straight. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my good lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once. It was Aeneas' tale to Dido, where he speaks of Priam's slaughter. Let me see. The rugged Pyrrhus, The rugged Pyrrhus, like the Hyrcanian beast. No, it is not so. It begins with Pyrrhus. The rugged Pyrrhus, he whose sable arms, black as his purpose, did the night resemble, hath now this dread and black complexion smeared with heraldry more dismal, horribly tricked with blood of fathers, mothers, daughters, sons, and thus o'ersized with coagulate gore. The hellish Pyrrhus old grandsire Priam seeks. So proceed you.
Oh, God, my lord, well spoken, with good accent and good discretion.
Anon he finds him. Pyrrhus at Priam drives. In rage strikes wide. But with the whip and wind of his fell sword, the unnerved father falls. Then lo, his sword, which was declining on the milky head of Reverend Priam, seemed in the air to stick. So as a painted tyrant Pyrrhus stood. But as we often see against some storm, a silence in the heavens, the rack stands still, the bold wind speechless, and the orb below as hush as death.
This is too long.
It shall to the barbers with your beard. Now, bid his say on. He's for a jig or a tale of bawdry, or he sleeps. Say on. Come to Hecuba.
But who, our woe, had seen the Mobled Queen?
Mobled Queen. That's good. Mobled Queen is good.
Run barefoot with a clout upon that head where late the diadem stood. Who this had seen, 'gainst fortune's stateward treason had pronounced. But if the gods themselves did see her then, unless things mortal move them not at all, the instant burst of clamor that she made would have made milch the burning eyes of heaven, and passion in the gods.
Look whether he has not turned his color and has tears in his eyes. Prithee, no more.
'Tis well. I'll have thee speak out the rest soon. Good, my lord, will you see the players well bestowed?
My lord, I will use them according to their deserts.
God's bargain, man, much better. Use every man after his desert, and who should escape whipping? Take them in.
Come on, sirs.
Follow him, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzaga?
Why, my lord?
We'll have tomorrow night. You could, for a need, study a speech of some 12 or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert in, could you not? Very well. Follow that, lord. And look you, mock him not. Aye, so. God bide to you. Now I am alone. What a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit that from her working all his visage wan, tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, and all for nothing? For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? What would he do? Had he the motive and the cue for passion that I have? He would drown the stage with tears and cleave the general ear with hurried speech. Dull and muddy-mettled rascal peaked like John a Dream was unpregnant of my cause and can say nothing. Am I a coward? Pours me villain, breaks my pated cross. I should take it. For it cannot be but I am pigeon-livered. Or ere this I should have fatted all the region kites with this slave's offal. Bloody, bawdy villain! Remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain! Oh, vengeance! What an ass am I? This is most brave that I, the son of a dear father murdered, must like a whore unpack my heart with words. Fie unto fie, both I pray. I would have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks. I'll tend him to the quick if he but blench. I know my course. The spirit I have seen may be the devil, and the devil hath power to assume a pleasing shape. Yea, I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing, wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. And can you by no drift of conference get from him why he puts on this confusion? Grating so harshly all his days of quiet with turbulent and dangerous lunacy?
He doth confess he feels himself distracted, but from what cause I will by no means speak.
Nor do we find him forward to be sounded, but with a crafty madness keeps aloof.
Did you assay him then to any pastime?
We told him certain players were arrived, and that it seemed in him a kind of joy to hear of it. They have already order this night to play before him.
'Tis most true, and he beseeched me to entreat your majesties to hear and see the matter.
With all my heart. And it doth content me much to hear him so inclined. Now leave us, gentlemen.
We shall, my lord.
Sweet Gertrude, leave us too. For we have closely sent for Hamlet hither, that he, as 'twere by accident, may hear affront Ophelia. Her father and myself, lawful as files, will so bestow ourselves that seeing unseen we may of their encounter frankly judge.
I shall obey you. And for your part, Ophelia, I do wish that your good beauties be the happy cause of Hamlet's wiles. So shall I hope your virtues will bring him to his wonted way again, to both your honors.
Madam, I wish it may.
Ophelia, walk you here. Gracious, so please you, we will bestow ourselves. Read on this book. I see him coming. Let us withdraw, my lord.
be, that is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them. To die. To sleep no more. And by a sleep, to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die. To sleep. To sleep. Perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. Who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death? The undiscovered country, from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others that we know not of. Thus, conscience doth make cowards of us all. And thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pitch and moment will disregard their currents, turn awry, and lose the name of action. Soft, you know. Fair Ophelia. Nymph, in thy orisons be all my sins remembered.
Good, my lord. How does your honor for this many a day?
I humbly thank you. Well.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I. I never gave you aught.
My honored lord, you may right well you did. And with them words of so sweet breath composed as made the things more rich. Their perfume lost. Take these again.
Are you honest?
My lord?
Are you fair?
Please, your lordship.
Well, if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty. I did love you. Once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. Why wouldst thou be a breeder of sinners? I am myself indifferent honest, but yet I could accuse me of such things that it were better my mother had not borne me. What should such fellows as I do, crawling between earth and heaven? We are errant knaves, or believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery. Where is your father?
No, my lord.
Let the door be shut on him, that he may play the fool nowhere but in his own house. Farewell!
Help him, you sweet heaven!
You love does marry. I will give thee this blade for my dowry. Be thou as chaste as ice, as pure as snow, thou shalt not escape calumny. Get thee to a nunnery, go!
Heavenly God, restore him!
I've heard of your paintings too well enough. God hath given you one face and you make yourselves another. I say we will have no more marriages. Those that are married already, all but one shall live. The rest shall keep as they are. To a nunnery go!
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, soldiers, scholars, eye, tongue, and sword. The expectancy and woes of the fair state. The observed of all observers quite down. And I of ladies most deject and wretched, that sucked the honey of his music vows, now see that noble and most sovereign reason, like sweet bells, jangled out of tune and harsh. Oh, woe is me. Do see what I have seen. See what I see.
His affections do not that way tend. There's something in his soul on which his melancholy sits on brood. And I do doubt the hatch on the disclosed will be some danger. Which for to prevent, I will set it down. He shall with speed to England. What think you, aunt?
It shall do well. Ah, now, Ophelia, you need not tell us what Lord Hamlet said. We heard it all. My lord, do as you please, but if you think it fit, after the play, let his queen mother all alone entreat him to show his grief. If she find him not, to England send him, or confine him where your wisdom best shall think.
It shall be so. Madness in great ones must not unwatched go.
Otto, Horatio!
Here, sweet lord, at your service.
Horatio, thou art e'en as just a man as e'er my conversation coped withal.
Oh, my dear lord.
Nay, do not think I flatter. Since my dear soul was mistress of her choice, she hath sealed thee for herself. For thou hast been as one in suffering all that suffers nothing. A man that fortune's buffets and rewards hath ta'en with equal thanks. Give me that man that is not passion's slave, and I will wear him in my heart's core, aye, in my heart of heart, as I do thee. Something too much of this. There is a play tonight before the king. One scene of it comes near the circumstance that I have told thee of my father's death. Observe, mine uncle, give him heedful note. And after, we will both our judgments join in censure of his seeming.
Well, my lord.
Coming to the play, I must be idle. Get thee a place.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent, if faith. My lord, you played once at the university, you say?
That did I, my lord, and was accounted a good actor.
What did you enact?
I did enact Julius Caesar. I was killed in the Capitol. Brutus killed me.
'Twas a brute part of him to kill so capital a calf there. Be the players read by, my lord. They stay upon your patience.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet. Sit by me.
No, good mother, here's metal more attractive.
Oh, do you want that?
Lady, shall I lie in your lap?
No, my lord.
I mean my head in your lap.
Pray, my lord.
Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between maids' legs.
You'll marry, my lord.
Why?
I, my lord.
Oh, God, you're only jig maker. What should a man do but be merry? For look you how cheerfully my mother looks, and my father died within 2 hours.
He poisons him in the garden for his estate. His name's Gonzago. The story is extant and written very choice Italian. You shall see anon how the murderer gets the love of Gonzago's wife.
The king rises. How fares, my lord?
What? Trusted with false fire? Give order to play. Give me some light. Away! Light! 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 Oh, good Horatio! I'll take the ghost word for £1,000. Didst perceive?
Very well, my lord.
Come to music. Come the recorders. Or if the king like not the comedy, why then belike he likes it not, Betty. Come the music.
But my lord, vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, all history.
The king, sir.
I say what of him?
Is in his retirement, marvelous distemper.
Came, sir.
There you go to bed. We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Ah, the recorder. Let me see. Sir, will you play upon this pipe?
My lord, I cannot.
I pray you.
Believe me, I cannot.
'Tis as easy as lying. Look you, these are the stops.
I have not the skill.
Why, look you now, how unworthy a thing you make of me. You would play upon me, you would seem to know my stops. You would pluck out the heart of my mystery. Blood, do you think that I am easier to be played on than a pipe? Leave me, friends. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft. Now to my mother. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I will speak dagger to her, but use none.
Oh, my offense is rank. It smells to heaven. A brother's murder. Pray, can I not? My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. Yet, if this hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood, is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? What form of prayer can serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder? It cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, my own ambition, my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense. In the corrupted currents of this world, offense's gilded hand may shove by justice, but 'tis not so above. There is no shuffling. There the action lies in his true nature. What then? What rests? Try what repentance can. What can it not? Yet what can it when one cannot repent? A wretched state. Bosom black as death. Foul stubborn knees. And heart with strings of steel. Be soft as sinews of the newborn babe. All may be well.
So he goes to heaven, and so am I revenged. What would be stand? A villain kills my father, and for that I, his sole son, do this same villain sent to heaven. Well, this is hire and salary, not revenge. To take him in the purging of his soul, when he is fit and seasoned for his passage. No. Absurd. And know thou a more horrid end. When he is drunk, asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, that his soul may be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes. My mother stays. This physic prolongs thy sickly days. My words fly up. My thoughts remain below.
Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
Oh, well, come straight. I'll silence me, even here.
Mother!
Look you, be round with him.
Mother!
I warrant you, fear me not.
Mother!
Withdraw. I hear him coming.
Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
Why, how now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Hast thou forgot me?
Oh, no, by the rune, not so. You are the queen, your husband's brother's wife. And when it were not so, you are my mother.
Hey, there are set those to you that can speak.
Come and sit you down. You shall not budge. You go not till I set you up a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Help! Help!
Help! I'm not a rat. Dead! But I'm not dead! Dead!
Oh, I am slain.
Oh, me. What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not. Is it the king?
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is it?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad, good mother, as kill a king and marry with his brother.
As kill a king?
Aye, lady, it was my word. Thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better. Thou find'st to be too busy is some danger. Leave wringing of your hands. Peace, sit you down and let me wring your heart, for so I shall if it be made of penetrable stuff.
What have I done that thou darest wag thy tongue in noise so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty. Calls virtue hypocrite. Makes marriage vows as false as dice as
Oh, I me, what I...
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. See what a grace was seated on this brow. This was your husband. Look you now what follows. Here is your husband, like a mildewed ear, blasting his wholesome brother. The eyes. You cannot call it love, for at your age the head the blood is tame. It's humble and waits upon the judgment. And what judgment could step from this to this?
Hamlet, speak no more. Thou turnst mine eyes into my very soul. And there I see such black and grained spots as will not leave that ting.
What a living rank sweat of an insipid bed, stewed in corruption, honeying and making love over the nasty stars.
Speak to me no more. These words like daggers entered in mine ears. No more, sweet Hamlet.
A murderer and a villain.
No more.
A king of shreds and badges. Save me and uphold me with your wings, you heavenly gods.
What would your gracious figure?
Alas, he's mad.
Do you not come your tardy son to chide? Oh, say. Do not forget, this visitation is but to whet thy almost blunted purpose. But look, amazement on thy mother sits. Oh, step between her and her fighting soul. Speak to her, Hamlet. How is it with you, lady?
Alas, how is it with you that you do bend your eye on vacancy? Say, whereon do you look?
On him. On him. Look you how pale he glares.
To whom do you speak this?
Do you see nothing there?
Nothing at all. Yet all that is, I see.
Why, look you there. Look how it steals away. My father in his habit as he lived. Look where he goes even now, out at the portal.
This is the very coinage of your brain. This bodiless creation, ecstasy, is very cunning in.
Ecstasy. My pulse as yours doth temperately keep time and makes us helpful music. It is not madness that I have uttered. Mother, for love of grace, lay not that flattering unction to your soul, that not your trespass, but my madness speaks. Repent what's past, avoid what is to come, and do not spread the compost on the weeds to make them ranker.
Oh, Hamlet, thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
I will throw away the worser part of it, and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to my uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not. And when you are desirous to be blessed, I'll blessing beg of you. For this same Lord I do repent, but heaven hath pleased it so. I will bestow him. Mother, good night indeed. This counselor is now most still, most secret, and most grave, who was in life a foolish, prating knave. Now lug the guts into the neighbor room. Good night, mother. Safely stowed. What have you done, my lord, with the dead body? To be demanded of a sponge. What replication should be made by the son of the king? Taking me for a sponge, my lord. When the king needs what you have deemed, it is but squeezing you, and sponge you shall be dry again. Lord, you must tell us where the body is and go with us to the king. The body is with the king. But the king is not with the body. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord?
Nothing. Bring me to him.
I've got to go after!
Now, Hamlet, where's Polonius?
At supper.
At supper. Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are in at him.
Where is Polonius?
In heaven. Send thither to see. If your messenger find him not there, seek him in the other place yourself. But indeed, if you find him not within this month, you shall nose him as you go up the stairs into the lobby.
Go seek him there.
He will stay till ye come.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety must send thee hence. Therefore prepare thyself for England.
For England?
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it, if thou knewst our purposes.
I see a cherub that sees them. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother is man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother.
England. Follow him at foot. Tempt him with speed aboard. I'll have him hence tonight. I pray you make haste. And England, if my love thou hold'st at aught, thou mayst not set our process, which imports by letters congruing to that effect the present death of Hamlet. Do it, England, for like the hectic in my blood he rages, and thou must cure me. Till I know 'tis done, I'll wear my haps. My joys were ne'er begun.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? How now, Ophelia? How should I your true love know from another one? By his cockerel hat and staff, and his sandal shoes.
Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
Say you, nay, pray you, mark. He is dead and gone, lady. He is dead and gone.
Alas, sweet lord. Look here.
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, Godilda. They say the owl was a baker's daughter. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be.
Conceit upon her father.
Tomorrow is St. Valentine's Day, all in the morning betime, and I am made at your window to be your Valentine. Then up he rose and donned his clothes and up the chamber door. Then in the maid that I to make never departed more.
Pretty Ophelia. How long has she been?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient. I cannot choose but weep to think they would lay him in the cold ground. And so I thank you for your good counsel. Come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night. Sweet lady. Good night. Good night.
Follow her close. Give her good watch, I pray you. This is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Gertrude, Gertrude. When sorrows come, they come not single spies, but in battalions. First her father slain, next your son gone. Now the people, muddy, thick and unwholesome in their thoughts and whispers for good Polonius' death. And we have done but greenly and hugger-mugger to inter him.
What noise is this?
What is the matter? Save yourself, my lord. The young Laertes have arrived to take orders your officers. The rabble call him lord and cry, choose we. Laertes shall be king.
Vile king.
Give me my father!
What is the cause, Laertes, that thy rebellion looks so giant-like? Let him go, Gertrude. Do not fear our person. Such divinity doth hate a king that treason can but peep to what it would, acts little of his will. Tell me, Laertes, why thou art thus incensed. Speak, man.
Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his...
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with to hell allegiance, only I'll be revenged most fully for my father.
Who shall stay you? That I am guiltless of your father's death, and am most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level to your judgment pure as day does to your eye.
He is dead and gone, lady.
What noise is that?
He is dead and gone. At his head the cross green top.
Rose of May, dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh, heavens. Is it possible a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's love?
They bore him barefaced on the bier.
Yes,
Fare you well. My dove. Here's rosemary. That's for remembrance. I pray you, love, remember. And here's pansies. That's for thought. Here's beryl for you. And columbines. There's rue for you. And here's some for me. We may call it Have a Grace on Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. Here's a daisy. I would have given you some violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say I made a good end.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself she turns to favor and to prettiness.
I'm willing to come again. No, he is dead. Go to thy deathbed. He never will come again. God have mercy on his soul. And of all Christian souls, I pray God. God by you.
Do you see this? God.
Laertes, I must commune with your grief. You deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me. And where the offense is, let the great axe fall.
Horatio, there we were 2 days old at sea. A pirate of very warlike appointment gave us chase. In the grapple, I boarded them. On the instant, they got clear of our ship, so I alone became their prisoner.
High and mighty. You shall know I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow shall I beg leave to see your kingly eyes. And I shall, first asking your pardon thereunto, recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return, Hamlet. What should this mean? Are all the rest come back? Was it some abuse? Or no such thing?
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate terms. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. I loved your father. Will you be ruled by me?
Aye, my lord, so you will not rule me to a peace?
Laertes, was your father dear to you? Or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Hamlet comes back. What would you undertake to show yourself your father's son in deed, more than in words?
To cut his throat in the church?
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize. Revenge should have no bounds. I will work him to an exploit under which he needs must fall. And for his death, no wind of blame shall breathe, but call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled the rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You've been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for a quality wherein they say you shine.
What's that, my lord?
For art and exercise in your defense and for your rapier, most especial. Now, out of this...
What out of this, my lord?
We'll put on those shall praise your excellence and wager on your heads. So Hamlet, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, and you may choose a sword unbuttoned, and in a pass of practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for the purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that but dip a knife in it. Where it draws blood, nothing can save from death that which is scratched withal.
this project craves a second. Let me see. Have it. When in your motion you are hot and dry and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venomed sword, purpose me, oh there. Tough for night.
Your sister's drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Where?
There is a willow groves aslant the brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There with fantastic garlands did she come, and on the pendant boughs her crowned weeds clambering to hang an envious sliver broke. Then down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
That's then. She is drowned?
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much of what hast thou poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. Adieu. I have a speech of fire that fain would blaze. That this body cups it.
In youth, when I did love, oh, me thought it was very sweet. It got tracked all the time, oh my behold, we thought there was nothing meet.
Has this fellow no feeling for his business that he sings at grave-making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
A pickaxe and a spade, for and a shrouding sheet, a pit of clay, for to be made, for such a guest is meet.
That skull had a tongue in it and could sing once. How the knave jogs it to the ground.
A pickaxe and a spade.
Whose grave's this, sir?
Mine, sir.
I think it be thine indeed, for thou liest in't.
You lie out on, sir, therefore 'tis not yours. For my part, I do not lie in it, yet it is mine.
What man dost thou dig it for?
No man, sir.
What woman, then?
For none neither.
Who is to be buried in?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
Salute the knave. How long hast thou been a grave-maker?
Of all the days of the year, I came to it that day our last King Hamlet overcame Fortinbras.
How long is that since?
Can't you tell that? Every fool can tell that. It was the very day that young Hamlet was born. Edith's mad and sent into England.
Aye, marry. Why was he sent to England?
Why? Because he was mad. He shall recover his wits there, or if we do not, no great matter there.
How came he mad?
Oh, very strangely, they say.
Upon what ground?
Why, here in Denmark. I've been sexton here, man and boy, 30 years.
How long will a man lie of the earth ere he rots?
Faith, if he not be rotten before he die, as we have many pocky courses nowadays, he'll last you some 8 year, 9 year. A tanner will last you 9 year.
Why, he more than another?
Why, sir, his hide is so tanned with this trade, it'll keep out the water a great while. And water is a sore decayer of your horse and dead body. Here's a skull now. This skull has lain you in the earth for 3 and 20 years.
Whose was it?
Horse and mad fellow he was. Who's do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
This skull, sir, was, sir, Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
In that.
Let me see. Alas. Poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. fellow of infinite jest, most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own, grinning? Now, get thee to milady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Sword aside. Here comes the king, the queen, the courtiers. Who is that they follow, and with such maimed rites? This doth betoken the course they followed it with desperate hand for do its own life. Couch we a while and mark. Must there no more be done?
No more be done. We do profane the service of the dead to sing sage requiem and such rest to her as to peace-parted souls.
Lay her i' the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling. What for fair Ophelia?
Sweets to the sweet. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. I thought thy bride bed to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe for 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose wicked deed thy most ingenious sense deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. What is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded heroes? This is I, Hamlet, the Dane! Devil take thy soul! Cut them asunder!
Hamlet! Hamlet!
Gentlemen! My lord, be quiet! I love to feel you. 40,000 brothers with all their quantity of love could not make up my sum. What wilt thou do for her? He is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Soon show me what thou'lt do. Would weep, would fight, would fast, would tear thyself, would drink up poison, eat the crocodile. I'll do't. Dost thou come here to whine, to outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. Those mouths I'll rent as well as thou.
This is mere madness, and thus a while if it will work on him. A man as patient as the female dove when her golden couplets are disclosed. His silence will sit drooping.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason that you use me thus? I loved you ever. It is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day. I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. Strengthen your patience in our last night's speech. We'll put the matter to the present push.
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir. Dost know this waterfly? No, my lord.
Sweet lord, if your lordship were at leisure, I should impart a thing to you from his majesty.
I will receive it, sir, with all diligence of spirit. Put your bonnet to his right use, 'tis for the head.
I thank your lordship, it is very hot.
No, believe me, it is very cold. The wind is northerly.
It is indifferent cold, my lord, indeed.
Not yet methinks it is very sultry and hot for my complexion.
Exceedingly, my lord, very sultry. As to I cannot tell how. But, my lord, his majesty bade me signify to you that has laid a great wager on your head. Here is newly come to court Laertes, believe me, an absolute gentleman, full of most excellent differences, very soft society, and great showing.
What imports the nomination of this gentleman?
Of Laertes?
Of him, sir.
My lord, I know you are not ignorant of what excellence Laertes is. I mean, sir, for his weapon.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's two of his weapons, but well.
The king, sir, hath laid, sir, that in a dozen passes between yourself and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits, and it would come to immediate trial if your lordship would vouchsafe the answer.
Sir, I will walk here in the hall if it please His Majesty. It is the breathing time of day with me. Let the foils be brought.
Shall I redeliver you in, sir?
To this effect, sir, after what flourish your nature will.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
You will lose this wager, my lord?
I do not think so. Since you went to France, I've been in continual practice. I will win at the odds. But thou wouldst not think how ill all's here about my heart. But it is no matter.
Good, my lord.
It is but foolery. But it is such a kind of gain-giving as would perhaps trouble a woman.
If your mind it is like anything, obey it.
Not a whit we defy augury. There is special providence in the fall of a sparrow. If it be now, it is not to come. If it be not to come, it will be now. If it be not now, yet it will come. Our readiness is all.
Come, Hamlet, come. And take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I have done you wrong, but pardoned as you are a gentleman. I do receive your offered love like love, and will not wrong it. I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils. Come on, come one for me.
Give them the foils, young Osric. Cousin Hamlet, you know the wager.
Very well, my lord. Your grace hath laid the odds at the weaker side.
I do not fear it. I have seen you both.
This one is too heavy. Let me see another.
This likes me well. These foils have all the length.
Aye, my good lord.
Set me the stoups of wine upon that table. If Hamlet give the first or second hit, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. The king shall drink to Hamlet's better breath. And let the kettle to the trumpet speak, the trumpets to the cannoneers without, the cannons to heaven, the heavens to earth. Now the king drinks to Hamlet. Come. Begin.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
What now, gentlemen?
Hit. Very palpable hit.
Well. Again.
Stay. Give me drink. Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set by a while.
Come.
Another hit, what say you? A touch, I do confess it.
Our son shall win.
The Queen carouses to thy fortune, Hamlet.
Good, madam. Good, good. Do not drink.
I will, my lord. I pray you pardon me.
It is the poisoned cup. It is too late.
I dare not drink yet, madam. By and by.
Come, let me wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now. You do not think it.
It is almost against my conscience.
Come for the third, Laertes. You but dally. So. Come on.
my lord.
How does the queen?
She swoops to see them bleed.
No, no. Drink. Drink. Oh, my dear Hamlet. Drink. The drink. I am poisoned.
Villainy. Let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. The treacherous instrument is in my hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice has turned itself on me. But the poisoned, I can live more. The king's to blame. The poison and venom too. That venom. Do I friends, I haven't heard. Thou incense, murderous damned Dane, drink of this potion in thy union here. Follow my mother. He is justly served. It is a poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me. Noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death lie not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I follow thee.
I am dead, Horatio. Wretched queen. Adieu. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to the unsatisfied.
Never believe it. I am more an antique Roman than a Dane. He has yet some liquor left. Stop a man! Give me that cup! Let go by heaven on high!
Oh, God, Horatio. What a wounded name. Things standing thus unknown shall live behind me. If ever thou didst hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. What warlike noise is this?
Young Fortinbras with conquest come from Poland.
I die, Horatio. The potent poison quite outgrows my spirit. I cannot live to hear the news from England. But I do prophesy the election nights on Fortinbras. He has my dying voice. Arrest. He's... silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince. The flights of angels sing me to thy rest.
Where is this sight?
What would you see? If aught of woe or wonder cease your search,
Sight is dismal.
give order that these bodies high on the stage be placed into the view. And let me speak to the yet unknowing world how these things came about.
Let us haste to hear it. Let poor captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage. For he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royal. And for his passage, the soldier's music and the right of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the field, but here shows much amiss. Go bid the soldiers shoot.